sit down.
Thank you, ma'am.
My name is Vandana. What is your name?
My name is Mansi Singh.
And
My name is Abhishekta Mandal.
so Mansi Singh, candidate A, Abhishekta, candidate B. Okay. Before we start, I would like to know about your interest, candidate A.
My interests are playing basketball,
Louder, please.
reading mythological stories, watching something stupid science, like some facts about science.
So you are a science student.
Yes.
Candidate B,
Yes, ma'am.
which place do you like the best?
Which place do I like
Yes.
to play best?
You live in Kanpur.
I live in Kanpur, and in Kanpur, I'm an avid reader. So I love going to the libraries and read novels, the latest books written by the authors. So I love going to the libraries only.
So your favorite pastime is
Reading books. Yes,
Good. Okay. Let me know about your school.
I study in APS Kanpur, that is Amroli School, Kanpur, Kant. And it has, we have teachers, it's a co-ed school, so I study in 12th standard there. We have a library, playgrounds for volleyball, basketball, football.
Okay, 11th. Yes.
Yes, I'm 11.
Fine. So, candidate A, we are going to start with your topic. Okay, already decided. When candidate A finishes the topic, candidate B would like to ask some questions. I would also like to ask some follow-up questions. And the same procedure will be repeated with candidate B also. So, can we start now?
Yes, ma'am.
Candidate A, yes.
Good morning. I'm here to put up my opinions on the topic joint family. We all know that Ramayana and Mahabharata are the two most famous religious epics of the Indian history. But we fail to realize is the fact that they portray none other than the joint family system. Joint family involves much more than just people living under the same roof. Children not only get to live with their grandparents and cousins, they learn the value of relationships. Favoring the joint family system, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru remarked that it is an insurance for difficult times. It inadvertently contributes to health, prosperity, and security. As the children are reared by a number of people in a joint family, they save time, divide work, and create a spectrum of awareness and exposure. For working parents, it's a blessing, as they have trustworthy and reliable caretakers for their child. The joint family system has reduced the divorce rates even. This system leads to unity and strength that is emotional, financial, and social. Life of an individual is looked after by all of its family members from its cradle to its grave. Joint family system provides us with opportunity to accept different people with varying interests, temperaments, and natures. The system has offered veritable sources for recreation with immunity from monotony and boredom. It preserves cultures and customs. In times of celebration, in times of despair, all the family members share their sorrows and joys equally. So be in a joint family and build a joint family. Have you ever wondered why some people are good at teamwork? Well, that's where it begins, at home. Our family is a link to the past and a bridge for the future. So, I'd like to conclude by saying joint family is much better than a nuclear family. Thank you.
Candidate B, would you like to ask a question, please?
Yes, joint families are often autocratic in nature. The head of the family often lays down the rules for the entire household. Don't you think the self-individuality or the self-identity of the other members is often oppressed or hindered?
Thank you for your question. I'd like to remind some lines from my speech to you. Like I said, living in a joint family, it offers an opportunity to accept different people with varying interests, natures, and temperaments. So the thread which connects all the members in a joint family is not to be broken by some small, minute disputes and solutions, they are two sides of the same coin. And if we have so many people in the family, they accompany each other at hard times, in sorrows, in joys, celebration. So I don't think that these minute disputes will affect the connection, the hardcore connection between all the family members in the joint family. I hope I've satisfied your question. Thank you.
Okay. Candidate A, as you said, that joint family system supports a person when he is in distress. But nowadays we observe so many disputes, especially because there is economic crisis, because they are from the same view. Okay, what is the solution to this problem? When they are not ready to listen to each other, but they are forced to live together.
The head of the family, the one which is experienced and knowledgeable, and who has faced so many problems in his lifetime, in his or her lifetime, they can make way for their children. They can make them understand that they all are of the same blood. They have to help each other. As they are living together, that doesn't mean that if some kind of dispute or some kind of economic crisis, financial crisis, it occurs in their families, that won't lead to their separation, as that can be resolved by some or the other way.
Okay, by supporting each other. But don't you think that nowadays our generation is lacking in moral values? Okay, they do not show respect to their elders. Rather, they revolt why they should follow their elders.
That somehow depends on the upbringing. If the child is reared well, so they won't lack moral values.
Okay, thank you. Now, candidate B, would you like to begin with your topic now?
Yes.
Yes.
My topic is nuclear family. In India, since ancient times, nuclear joint family has been in existence. However, with the passage of time, the joint family system has disintegrated, giving rise to the nuclear family system. Today, we have a generation of people who, after having lived in the joint family system, have taken the initiative to break out and start a nuclear family. A joint family consists of a large number of family members, whereas a nuclear family consists of only a man, his wife, and their children. So a nuclear family earns, spends, and saves money for itself. Joint family, whenever a decision needs to be taken, there is a lot of chaos and argument. The younger members often feel that the self-identity is being inhibited. Whereas in a nuclear family, there is more space for self-expression and self-identity. The children who are brought up in a nuclear family are more self-reliant and decisive, as they do not depend on a large number of family members to take decisions for them or take actions. Also, the communication channels between the parent and the children is more open and transparent. The parents can focus more time on these children without having to divide their time on the other household responsibilities or other household members. So, as the saying goes, small family, happy family. So I would like to conclude saying that the nuclear family system is the best option for the modern generation. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate A, would you like to ask a question?
In your opinion, what would you say, what would be the solution? Like, nuclear families, they lack grandparents, experienced persons, or other family members who could guide the children or help the parent of the house in hard times. So what is the solution for this?
It is not like they cannot visit their grandparents or their relatives. There are summer vacations, winter vacations. The children can go and visit them. This way they would even look forward to the vacations to spend quality times with their relatives and their grandparents. So I don't think there would be any problem that way.
Whom do you think are more strong, those who are born and brought up in nuclear families, or those who are born and brought up in joint families?
In my opinion, the children brought up in nuclear family, as I myself have been brought up in nuclear family, are more independent and they can take their decisions on their own, as they have been brought up in that way.
But sometimes when you need support, suppose both the parents are working, okay, both the members, father and mother are working, they do not have time to spend with their children. Okay, in that case, if you belong to a joint family, others are there, uncles, grandparents are there to
That,
interact with you.
yes.
Okay, don't you think that these children suffer there to some extent?
The technology has been so modern now. There is Skype, there is mobile phones. We can always pick up a phone and call them and ask for solutions.
Okay, okay, thank you. Take a break here. Okay, shall I continue with the next? Yes, we have some prompts with you, for you, okay? So you will be asked to read this. I will read it for you and you will be asked to find solution for it. You have 2 minutes for it, okay? Discuss and then we will have a talk. Okay. I read it for you. This is prompt S01. The food in your school canteen is unhygienic. Discuss with your partner what problems this might cause, what can be done to improve the quality of the food served. Okay, I give you 2 minutes for discussion.
The problems caused by this.
You can take 2 minutes. Read it and decide.
The school canteen is unhygienic. What problems might this cause?
Problems like the children, they will disease.
Of course, unhygienic
flies
there's so
coming,
many.
sitting on them, infections, and less attendance. Ultimately, less attendance.
Yes, yes. They'll miss out so much of studies, then they lag behind in their studies. Okay. Also, maybe it might not be cooked properly, and the oil use might be
Or
not proper. So obesity,
stale food,
food,
just fried.
you may fall sick, then and lead to other diseases also. Obesity is there, then. Yes. So what can be done to improve this situation? What do you think?
First point must be that they should bring their own tiffins, that should be
Yes.
home cooked.
I
And
agree
somehow,
with
if
you.
they lose their tiffin at home or forget it, so they might not. They could be.
But what do you
waiting for
think
some time.
should be done to improve the quality of the food
The
served
quality
in
of
the
food
canteen?
If it is
Canteen.
not improvable, then we can change.
We should change the people who
Yeah,
come
who
to the
serves.
canteen, who serves the food.
Or if we can, if we don't want to change them, we can advise them or threaten them like we'll move you out of the school if you don't.
Okay, that might be an option.
Okay. Can you stop now?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
You must have discussed by now.
Yes, ma'am.
So let us start with candidate A. Once again, candidate A, what will be your solution?
My solution for this problem would be, first of all, by diplomacy, like making him understand that these are school children, small children, you must be happy children, why are you doing this? Or maybe by mistake if it happens, then we have to make him understand that the food quality is not good and this will lead to several problems, and explaining him the problems. And if he doesn't listen, then we might threaten him that we move you out of the school. So you should
Might
not
be fined. Okay. Yes, candidate B, do you agree?
Yes, I agree because
Any other suggestion?
all this unhygienic food will lead to so many diseases. The children fall sick frequently. This way they will lag behind in their studies. So I guess the best option should be either to make them understand. If they understand, it's well and good. If they do not, then we should have to change them.
How would you motivate these children who are very fond of this food, but they are not ready to listen to you that this is unhygienic? How would you motivate?
Well, there'll have to be.
There will have to be a
they'll have-
course.
we can
Yes.
force, but
You can take the help of teachers.
we'll have to take the help of teachers, and they'll have to understand.
Banners.
Banners and posters can be put up in the school.
Okay. This is the way. Are you sure that these efforts, little efforts made by you, are definitely going to help these children?
where there's a will, there's a way. So if we try, why won't we succeed?
Yes, ma'am.
So, that is the end of the test. I stop here. Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
ma'am.
Good day.